A very good day to you. You are listening to Change Radio News. Today is Friday, the 5th of September 2025, and the news is read by Olive Rujizo. Here are the headlines. President Chamisa revives vision for modern transport. Traditional healer under fire for endorsing life term for Mnangagwa, and 2 Harare councillors accused of issuing death threats over unapproved Victoria Falls trip. And now for the news in detail. President Nelson Chamisa has sparked fresh conversations around modern infrastructure after reaffirming his vision for bullet trains connecting major cities in the country. His idea is gaining traction amongst youth and urban planners who see it as a bold alternative to the country's outdated transport system. His comment comes at the National Railways of Zimbabwe recently launched a leisure train service between Harare and Mutare. While the initiative was meant to promote local tourism and revive travel, it has drawn sharp criticism online. Images on the train's old-fashioned interior and makeshift furnishings went viral, with Zimbabweans saying the project falls short of basic standards. A traditional leader in Chimanimani is facing controversy after calling for Emerson Mnangagwa to be given a life presidency. Chief Oliver Saurombe made the remarks at a public meeting, claiming all local chiefs support the idea. He stated that the current proposal to extend Mnangagwa's term to 2030 was too short. This is not the first time a traditional leader has been accused of partisan politics. Last year, Chief Seke from Mashonaland East was found guilty by the High Court for similar conduct after he was charged for violating the Constitution by endorsing a political party. The Constitution requires traditional leaders to remain impartial. Citizen spokesperson Promise Mkwananzi condemned the chief's remarks, saying there is no one who has the right to undermine the Constitution. Critics argue that the ruling party has a history of rewarding chiefs with gifts for political support. Change Radio spoke to Mr. Mkwananzi. Let's hear him speak.
We apologize, but we are having technical issues with Mr. Mkwananzi's audio.
Two Harare city councillors have been accused of threatening acting Chamber Secretary Warren Chiwawa with death after he refused to approve allowances for an unapproved trip to Victoria Falls. Chiwawa alleges councillors Zodiac Duri and Austin Munamba stormed into his office demanding payment for the COP15 convention trip, which lacked ministerial approval. He says he refused, citing a violation of a government directive. Chiwawa revealed the threats during a full council meeting and told journalists that he plans to report the matter to police and the Ministry of Local Government. He urged councillors to raise concerns through proper channels instead of resorting to intimidation. 10 out of the 14 Chinese nationals arrested in Newlands, Harare, have appeared in court for allegedly dealing and abusing cocaine during all-night parties. Critics have slammed the leniency shown to foreign offenders, saying such behavior would never be tolerated in China, where drug trafficking can lead to life imprisonment or even the death penalty. They accuse Zimbabwean authorities of treating serious crimes with a rap-on-the-knuckles approach, fueling perceptions of weak enforcement and selective justice. Health Minister Douglas Mombeshora's call for private sector help has spotlighted government failure to deliver basic health care. Years of underfunding, collapsing infrastructure, drug shortages, and mismanagement have crippled public hospitals. Citizens are left turning to expensive private care or going without. While the minister now speaks of innovation and partnerships, critics say this doesn't undo decades of neglect and political interference. The appeal is seen as a sign of states' inability or unwillingness to fulfill its constitutional duty to protect public health. The government efforts to combat drug abuse continue to fall short. Youth Minister Tinoma Chakaire and police visited Mbare attempting to arrest drug runners and extract names of their suppliers. The youths claimed they lacked ID documents and returned from South Africa empty-handed and earned just $5 a day or work only for food. Despite threats, they refused to reveal their handlers, exposing the deep-rooted nature of Zimbabwe's drug crisis and the state's lack of clear strategy. Harare needs just 500,000 US dollars to build rehabilitation centers as drug abuse cases surge. Over 60% of hospital patients are now drug-related, and existing centers can't meet the demand. Minister Charles Tavengwa is calling on stakeholders for support. Today, the 5th of September 2025, a raging veld fire swept through Chiweshe in Mazoe district, destroying 26 huts and injuring 2 people. The blaze displaced 24 families. In nearby Glendale, the fire also burnt a hectare of wheat and 2,000 hay bales, causing losses estimated at $5,000 US. Former opposition leader Job Zikala has condemned a suspected terrorist attack on his home on Saturday, August 30, while he was in South Africa for the launch of his biography, Footprints in the Chains. His property was severely damaged and his children were targeted. A $20,000 US reward has been offered by his international supporters for information leading to the attackers. Identities of whistleblowers will be kept confidential. Tips can be sent via WhatsApp at +263 773 756 658. The number again, +263 773 756 658. In economic news, a new mini hydro power station at Lake Mutirikwi in Masvingo is now operational, generating 5 megawatts of electricity, enough to power thousands of homes. The station also ensures uninterrupted supply to schools, hospitals, and water pumping stations, helping to reduce load shedding in the province. Stanbic Bank Zimbabwe has renewed its 10-year partnership with the Albino Charity Organization of Zimbabwe, ALCOZ, donating goods worth $30,000 US to protect people with albinism as the hot season starts. The donation includes sunscreen, sun hats, and antiseptic soap handed over in Chitungwiza. ALCOZ praised the bank's continued support, which has helped improve lives across Zimbabwe. And in news from local communities, a young man from Kambuzuma 5 tragically took his own life on Wednesday. He reportedly struggled with a suicidal spirit after losing his job, serving time in prison, and battling drug addiction. Despite being closely watched by his grandmother and relatives, he sneaked into the toilet and hung himself. A relative shares more on the ordeal.
Vadiwa vatariri tiri kuno kukambuso ma5 uko kune mukomana akasvika pakuzvipfuudza nenzira yekuzvisungirira mutoileti.
Gogo pavakaona kuti pane masainzi ezvinhu zvaari kuda kuita vakamhanya vakanoti amaishingiwo ndionerawo zviri kupi zviri kunuku foshuwanzoni vakasvika vakamuona Chave vakataura naye aiwa Chave usadaro usashungurudza mbuya vako usadaro akati aiwa ndazvinzwa titsvaga zvinhu mumakadhibhokisi matambo because kubva last week yese aingotsvaga matambo saka dzaingoti tambo idzodzo dzikawanikwa patinongonzwa kuti dziri pakati todzitora tova tadziita se topisa dzimwe dzacho torasa asi apa vatotaura naye zvakanaka vauya kudaro vataura naye iye akangotsanangura kuti aiwa ndazvinzwa zvamataura asi amaishingi vakamukumbira kuti nandichikumbirawo kuti uchiuya kumba kwangu titandare kuti zvinhu zvimboita ngezvabuda chi pauri akati aiwa endai ndichaita se ndinotevera sapa wakati endai ndichatevera gogo akati arya ndimhanye ndinotsvagawo munhu wechikomana tine muzukuru wedu anogara pazasapo wakati arya tinomutsvaga uye padhuze kuti kana zvaomesesa ini simba handina pavari kuenda uko ndo panosara mukomana achitora tambo yake achitora cheya yake achienda kutoileti uko saka ugogo pavakadzoka vachibvunza vasikana vanga vari papa nemuzukuru wake mwana wehanzvadzi yake musikana ari form 2 nekamwana kangu kamusikana kari kugrade 4 saka pavakazotenderera kuseri kutoilet bva vadongorera nepasi pavakwana mune cheya kuti unodai kudongorera munhu anga atoita se ngatozvisungirira rimafambira zvakaita
iye aiti dambudziko rake nderei riri kuita kuti asvike pakuda kuzvisungirira
ini mataura aita Chale ukataura naye kuti naye mwanangu chii chiri kunyanya kukunetsa mukati meupenyu wako aingoti nini zveupenyu zviri kuita se zvakandiomera but mataura aita kuti upenyu hwakandiomera munhu anga amumadrugs saka madrugs aya ndaona kuti ndianga kupesera kumuita se kumukanganisa nekuda kwokuti akambosvika panguva yakamboendeswa kuchipatara kwarari hospital akambonorapwa ikoko akazobva tikambomhendesa kurehabilitation kushamva akadzoka azodzoka bvaadzoenda futi kuprison paadzoka pakati aiwa handifungo ndichazvidzokorodza zvakare zvandakaita izvi
inyaya yanga yamuendesa kuprison yaita
kuprison zvaakaita sekuru vakashaya gore rinori musi wa9 February ndopa vakashaya saka iye akasvika panapa achingopinda mumbongo achitovati gogo nasekuru ndimudi kanganisa upenyu hwangu kuti musafambe zvakanaka anenge abva unotora madrugs ake akavarova but asekuru avo unfortunately vakazoshaya zvavo asi zvanga zvaitika muna January imomo.
In Matabeleland South's Esigodini area, a 26-year-old man from Shale village was arrested for physically assaulting a 15-year-old girl he had been living with for 3 months. In a jealous rage over suspicions she was seeing boys her age, he attacked her with a burning log. In international news, yesterday a large anti-foreigner protest took place in Roslyn's industrial area in Pretoria, South Africa. Unemployed South Africans demanded that industrial firms release foreign workers, claiming they are taking their jobs. Meanwhile, a foreign woman from Central Africa is protesting, saying she refuses to leave. She urges the South African government to stop arresting foreign nationals and calls on the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to intervene. Let's hear more from her.
I want the whole Africa and the whole world to hear this. If we are here, it's not because we want to live in this street here. No one in this world would prefer to stay in the street with his family. Do you understand? We ran away from our country because of the crisis. And that crisis It's these international communities that are causing it, and all of you, we are aware of that. They are using Rwanda. They are using Rwanda to attack our eastern part of the country, so that we must not be stable. We must be running here and there to other countries.
And what do you want the South African government to do about that?
All we want to do, the UNHCR agency, they have the rights to protect the refugees. Is this how they protect refugees? And the UN, they're there in DRC. They call it MONUSCO. They've been there for more than 25 years. Still, there was no solution for that problem. Meaning it's the politics that they're using so that they can continue to loot those mineral resources because of the envy. The whole world, they're envying our mineral resources. No country in this world has mineral resources like DRC. No one. If anyone is here to contradict me, say it openly in front.
And finally, in sports news, tonight the Zimbabwe Warriors face Benin in match day 7 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at the Alassane Ouattara Olympic Stadium. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Central African Time. Yesterday, other Southern African teams suffered defeat. Angola lost 0-1 to Libya. Cameroon beat Eswatini 3-0. Mali won 3-0 against Comoros. And Algeria defeated Botswana 3-1. Only Madagascar secured a win, beating the Central African Republic 2-0. To end the bulletin, here are the news headlines once again. President Chamisa revives vision for modern transport. Traditional leader under fire for endorsing life term for Mr. Mnangagwa. And 2 Harare councillors accused of issuing death threats over unapproved Victoria Falls trip. This concludes our bulletin for today. Thank you for listening. From myself, Olive, and the entire team at Change Radio, have a blessed weekend.